The Forex market is like the sea. It's a vast ocean with both strong currents and calmer waters, constantly shifting throughout the trading day, driven by the never-ending ebb and flow of opinion on a tide of sentiment that changes from risk on to risk off and back again. Taking advantage of these constant shifts in sentiment can be hard, particularly when you're monitoring 28 pairs or more across the timeframes. The numbers are simply overwhelming, and with screen space at a premium, it's an impossible task. Even more difficult is identifying the change of sentiment as it moves from trending strongly in one direction, then into calmer waters, before reversing and trending once more. This is the cyclical price behavior we see in all timeframes. But seeing these changes quickly and profiting from them is challenging. This is where the quantum currency array indicator steps in. The indicator has been developed to identify and display these trends quickly and easily, allowing you to see instantly those currency pairs which are trending and those which are not, and in all timeframes with just one click. The 28 currency pairs are displayed as a fan as they sweep from strong to weak and back again. And this is why we call it the currency array. All 28 pairs are arrayed before you, giving an instant visual description of those pairs that are trending strongly, those in congestion, and those about to develop a trend, all in your chosen time frame. The quantum currency array indicator displays all the 28 currency pairs derived from the 8 major currencies as featured in the quantum currency strength indicator, namely the US dollar, the euro, the British pound, the Swiss franc, the Japanese yen, the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, and finally the New Zealand dollar. In displaying all the pairs in an array, this gives you an instant view of their relative trend strength and reveals this relation in a visual, beautiful, and intuitive manner in 3 very powerful ways. First, the indicator displays the 28 currency pairs in a ranked list, ordered by the strength of the trend. The currency pair with the greatest momentum and steepest uptrend appears at the top of the list, in other words, the most bullish. The one with the greatest momentum and steepest downtrend appears at the bottom, in other words, the most bearish. All the other pairs are then ranked accordingly, and color-coded from red at the bottom through to yellow and into green at the top of the ranking table. Currency pairs in congestion appear in the middle of the table and are colored yellow. Alongside the ranking list is a second column. This signals whether a particular currency pair is approaching an overbought or an oversold state, thereby providing an opportunity to profit from any trend reversal and get into a strong position early. These states are signaled in 2 ways. First, that a currency pair is approaching such a state, and second, when it has arrived at the extreme. These signals are color-coded as a dark blue or dark red for when approaching an extreme, and then bright blue or bright red once the pair is at an extreme. Currency pairs are constantly moving from overbought to oversold and back again, and the indicator gives you an instant heads up as these regions are approached in all the time frames. If the pair is at an overbought state, an OB signal appears on a bright blue background. If the pair is approaching an overbought state, then an OB in brackets appears again on a dark blue background. And to the opposite side, if the pair is in an oversold state, an OS appears on a bright red background, and finally, if the pair is approaching an oversold state, an OS in brackets appears on a dark red background. Once any of these appear besides a currency pair, it is flagging the potential for an impending change in direction of the trend, which can then be considered further by analysis of the chart. For example, if the euro-pound is seen near the top of the table and beside it is an OB signal, it means that although the uptrend is seemingly strong, the bullish strength driving it may be reaching an exhaustion point and starting to diminish, with a possible change in direction in due course, and it's time to check this on the charts. Moving on to the second point, the indicator displays the same 28 major currency pairs as lines that diffuse out, creating the array, with varying magnitudes depending on the strength and inclination of each currency pair's trend. This means the order in which they appear vertically follows the same ranking in the table alongside, but as a graphical display, instantly, visually, and numerically revealing the actual steepness of each currency pair's trend. In other words, the stronger the trend, the steeper the line. What you are seeing on the array is the directional momentum of all 28 currency pairs on one indicator and in any time frame. Priceless. And of course, you can isolate a currency complex by using the toggle buttons alongside to just show the pound-related pairs, for example. And as you would expect, the currency pairs moving the most and with momentum also display the steepest upward or downward gradient on the array. Currency pairs with little movement and therefore in congestion are found closest to the zero level of the graph and appear horizontal or with little gradient to the line. One of the most powerful features of the currency array indicator is when watching trends develop in real time and how related pairs move together en masse. This will give you huge confidence when taking a position in the market, as you will see all the currency pairs for that currency complex marching together, stretching higher or stretching lower, and reflecting market sentiment for that currency and its associated pairs. This is immensely powerful and will give you the confidence not only to take a position, but then to hold it to maximize your profits from the trend. In addition, you will instantly see those pairs in congestion with a flat trend line in the array, which may be preparing to trend or are about to join a move of sentiment which has already begun in the complex. And this leads on to the third aspect of the currency array indicator, which is this. It will give you an instant heads up to divergence across a currency complex. The easiest example here is with the Japanese yen, which is the counter currency for the major and cross pairs. On the array, we should expect to see all the currency pairs on either one side of the midpoint or the other. After all, if the flow of sentiment for the yen is universal, then we should see all the yen pairs aligned accordingly, either with selling of the Japanese yen or buying. If not, then we have some divergence, and the flow of sentiment is not universal. If you are trading a pair which is perhaps counter to broad sentiment, then this is a higher risk proposition. The currency array will reveal this instantly and visually, and across all the time frames with a single click and on one chart. No need to try to scan 28 charts. It's all here for you in a single powerful indicator. One of the coolest features we've introduced recently across all our indicators is the dynamic graded color coding system found in both the ranked list and in the array. This makes interpreting the indicator intuitive and fast. The currency pairs appears as a color spectrum in the range of green, yellow, red. Simply put, the color of each currency pair varies depending on its value, and in this case, the steepness of the trend. For those currency pairs with green shades, then the steepness of the currency pair's trend is positive, and well above the fulcrum of zero. For those with yellow shades, the steepness of the currency pair's trend is relatively flat and around the fulcrum of zero. It can be positive or negative, but trails the numbers closest to the horizontal. Finally, to those pairs with red shades, the steepness of the currency pair's trend is negative and well below the fulcrum of zero. The same color graduation applies to the array itself. It's important to note the yellow levels are not precisely in the middle, but clustered around the midpoint. The gradation of color is dynamic, and hence the transition of colors will depend entirely on the steepness of the trend of each currency pair. As with all our other indicators, this is dynamic and is constantly shifting in real time to reflect the ebb and flow of sentiment across the time frames. Now, with the indicator, you can check trend and momentum across all 28 pairs and in all time frames within seconds. Just jump into a trend or wait for a reversal. The choice is yours. No more missed opportunities. No need to have hundreds of charts or multiple screens. It's all here. Compact, elegant, instant and clear. The complex sea of forex sentiment that ebbs and flows, second by second, all beautifully displayed on one single chart. So why not add the quantum currency array to your trading tools now and sail smoothly through your trading day with low risks and high profits? You can find further details on this and all the other trading indicators from Quantum over at www.quantumtrading.com.